Welcome to making your Microsoft Word documents accessible. In this tutorial, you will learn how to create an accessible table in Word. I have a document here with a table I created that has 4 columns and 5 rows. I did not create this table with accessibility features. I'm going to turn on VoiceOver to demonstrate how a screen reader would read this table.
Welcome to VoiceOver.
VoiceOver on Annotation Heading Accessible Tables. Let's create an accessible table. Annotation heading 2014 first quarter visitors per site. In thousands. Table. 5 rows. 4 columns.
So it recognizes there is a table. Let's see if I can get it to enter the table and read the information.
Out of accessible table.
Doesn't want to enter the table.
Page 1 Annot 2014. Page 1 Content. Page 1 Let's Annotation Heading 2014 first quarter visitors per site. In thousands table. 5 rows. 4 columns. Annotation Heading Accessible Tables. Let's create an accessible table.
Okay, it keeps trying to leave the table. I'm going to see if I can get it to read the information in the table.
In Edit Text Annotation Heading in January. Table. 5 rows. 4 columns. 1 cell selected column 1. Row January 2nd. Cell January. Column 1. Row 2.
Okay, we're in the table. Going to move around in the table to see how it reads it.
Column 2 of 4135. Column 3 of 4112. Column 4 of 492.
So it is reading the information in the cells. It's reading which column it's in, not by title, but by number.
Column 1 of February 4th. Column 2 of 4117. Column 3 of 4114. Column 4 of 499.
Okay, I'm going to turn VoiceOver off.
VoiceOver off.
The screen reader struggled to find the table, and when it was able to read the text in the table, it was not clear how the information is organized. I'm going to create another table to demonstrate how an accessible table is different. To begin, I'm going to select the Insert tab. Then in the ribbon, I'm selecting Table. My table is 4 columns and 5 rows, so that's what I'm selecting. Do not select Draw Table, as there is no way to make this accessible. Now I'm going to enter my text into the cells of my table. This table visually looks identical to the other one above, but we are going to make this one more accessible. First, with this table selected, I'm going to the Table Design tab to make sure Header Row is selected. Now I'm going to caption my table. I'm selecting the References tab, then selecting Insert Caption. In the pop-up window, I'm making sure that after the word Label under Options, Table is selected. Then in the caption box, after Table 1, I am typing the title of my table, which for this purpose I'm going to call Accessible Table. Now I'm selecting OK. I'm going to highlight my top row and right-click, or on a Mac, Control-click, then select Table Properties. With row selected, I am going to select Repeat as header row at the top of each page then OK. Now I'm going to select the entire table, right-click, Table Properties, then in the pop-up window in the Row tab, I am going to uncheck Allow rows to break across pages, then OK. Next, I'm going to the very first cell of my table, cell A1. Once I have my cursor there, I'm selecting the Insert tab, then Bookmark. For the bookmark name, I'm typing the word title, then an underscore, and the title of my table. So title, underscore, accessible, underscore, table. Then I select Add. Now I'm going to add an alt tag description to my table. I'm going to right-click on the table again, select Table Properties, and in the pop-up window, I am selecting Alt Text. Here I can add a description of my table. So for this purpose, table demonstrating accessible table formatting. Then OK. Now I'm going to turn VoiceOver on to read this table.
Welcome to VoiceOver.
Heading, text, annotation heading 2014 first, new line, table field 1, accessible table, 5 rows, 4 columns, accessible table demonstrating accessible table formatting.
So it just read my caption out loud, and then it read the description of the table. Let's see if we can enter the table.
In text. In period, table, 5 rows, 4 columns, accessible table, 1 cell selected column 1, row 1 period, cell period, column 1, row 1, period, cell, period, site 1, column 2, row 1, site 2, column 3, row 1, site 3, column 4, row 1.
Now it read the headers correctly. Let's go into the rest of the table content.
Period January.
So it read period as the heading. This period is January. Now we're in January. If I move to the next column.
Site 1 135. Site 2 112. Site 3 92.
So now that it is recognizing that top row as a header row, it's reading the header so I can tell what the numbers belong to. In January, Site 3 had 92,000 visitors. Now that I'm in the Site 3 column, let's see if I move down into February what it reads.
February 99.
And we'll move down to March.
March 126.
And the quarter total.
Quarter total 308.
So now it will read not only the headings on the top for the columns, but the headings on the rows as I move around.
Site 2 337. March 111. February 114. January 112.
I'm going to turn VoiceOver off.
VoiceOver off.
So instead of just reading which column and row I was interacting with, like the first table, in this table, VoiceOver was able to read the titles of the header rows and columns to help organize the information. All of the text inside this table is normal text as far as styles in Word. Nothing is set as a heading outside of the table properties. Tables with merged or split cells cannot be made accessible in Word. So keep tables simple. You can use any of the visual table designs in the Table Design tab, as long as you follow the steps in this tutorial to make the table accessible. Check out the Perkins School for the Blind website by following the link in the description for more information on creating accessible tables in Word.